It's the way we phrase things, it's the way we deliver it that can make a situation much worse or a whole lot better. Your tone, your delivery, and you know what I mean, what's behind what you say. When I see a teacher and I have literally run across the room and lean down and get in a kid's face like that, and I thought, oh my God. First of all, the guy was 6'2". He intimidated me, and I was just in the room. And he runs up to a little 12-year-old boy that weighed about 90 pounds. The kid fell back in his chair, almost fell on the ground. What point was that, except that kid will remember that the rest of his life? Or the meanness that comes out, right? As social media is just awful with that, right? It's the tone. Even through written language, we can tell the tone. A soft voice, a clear voice with compassion. I hope I've been modeling that with you. Use some humor. When I get upset about something that somebody's doing, often it's just the look, but not over dramatic, but just the look. And I might say, come on, you know better than that, right? You know better than that. Rather than getting in their face and making a dramatic event, and the kid's going to forget everything you're telling them, they're just going to remember your approach. Dang, what's up with him today, right? I tell students I want to be the same Mr. Green every period, every single day. Even keel. Do I get mad? Do I have bad days? Absolutely. But I don't want them to see that. When I got stuff in my life going on, I keep it to myself. And smiling and greeting kids at the door and seeing those faces makes me forget about my problems anyway. But don't take it out on them. Oh, sorry guys, I know I vented a little bit, but I'm upset. They don't need to hear your stories. Don't share them your personal business. So you got into an accident on the road. Okay, and you're late. Maybe you share with them a little bit about being responsible and keeping your eyes on the road, and you made a mistake, but don't go into, they were flipping the bird, and I said this, and I'm sorry, class, and I'm all pumped up, and you're sharing all the personal stuff. They don't need to hear that. Only share when you have to, and usually it's something constructive that you can make a life lesson out of. But don't go telling the business. And don't waste time in your class sharing stories that, who cares? High school teachers, I'm picking on them because sometimes they think by taking a lot of time telling stories, the kids are quiet and they're engaged and we're learning a lot. No, they're not. They're tuning you out and you're telling them stuff that nobody cares about anyway. Remember, you're old. Even if you're in your 20s, you're old to them. And they don't want to hear old people telling them about their life stories and all this other stuff, right? Maybe a little anecdote once in a while. Hey, class, I know I'm old school. I know I'm a dinosaur, right? And I say something, and we make a little fun, and we move on. But don't give the 20-minute speeches. Leave that. Old PE teachers like to do that in social studies because they don't want to teach social studies, so they tell a lot of stories. And most of them have nothing to do with the content. And the kids come out not knowing anything. All right, this video here, would you also answer the questions and while we're watching the video? And it talks really good about firm, con, finesse, but he has to start off with another really lame joke.
Technique 36, 100%, part 3. This will be a good one come Halloween time. Why don't skeletons ever go trick-or-treating? Because they have no body to go with. Part 3 talks about relying on firm, calm, finesse. Some teachers want to have compliance so that they can show students who is boss. I myself think that compliance is an exercise in purpose, not power. Students need to follow directions quickly and completely so that they can be assured of having the best chance to succeed, not so that I have the best chance of looking good. in front of them. Responsiveness and compliance to your orders are not the end. Class doesn't stop when students start listening. This is the first step in the process of learning well. You want to make effective statements to your students, and effective in not just the words you choose, but in your tone, your demeanor, and the sort of language that you pick. You don't want to say things like, "I asked for everyone's eyes on me." You want to say things like, "I need everybody's eyes so we can begin learning. I expect you to do this so you can be prepared to move on." We don't ask for command obedience because it feels good to us. We ask for it because it serves our students and it serves our classroom. And we need to make our students understand this distinction. This technique stresses the universality of expectations. A good teacher will use language that reinforces this. They will say something like, "I need everyone's eyes," instead of, "Brian, I need your eyes." Asking for eyes on you is better than asking for attention, because you can see it when you have it. Asking for pencils down and eyes on you is better yet, since it gives you two things you can see. Make sure that the compliance you're asking for is something that you can check visually. Many teachers think their job is to individualize every decision to the specific needs and people in every situation. But in cases of behavioral expectation, this is likely to result in their feeling particularly picked on, especially when they don't like the decisions. In some ways, you have to be like a ref in your classroom. You have a set of rules that you have all agreed upon to be able to play the game effectively and efficiently. You have to reinforce these expectations, and you have to do it impersonally. This reminds students that your decisions are not directed at them as individuals, but as them as part of a bigger classroom. Try to rely on firm, calm finesse. Remember that gaining 100% compliance is not about power, but about achieving an important purpose, that students will succeed. Take yourself out of the equation and focus on the goal, rather than saying, "I asked for your eyes on me, because when I ask you for something, I expect you to do it." And try, "I need your eyes on me, so you can learn."